Ladies and gentlemen, our final look at the Warrior for Warlords of Draenor as the patch is about to drop, so you guys can get involved and see all this discussion and whether or not it suits you, whether my opinions are valid, all that kind of stuff. And if you've been following anything to do with Warriors, you will have heard naught but nightmares about ARMS in its current state. Beware the spec, for it is dark and it is full of terrors. I gave it a scathing review. In fact, it was the worst of the worst in WoD Alpha. It was absolutely diabolically bad, suffering from immense downtime. Nothing happening for really long periods of time. And then the big talent change came. That was the solution Blizzard threw at it, was the huge talent system of which we have choices among choices among choices. And I declared proudly that the Warrior will, in fact, be able to cope with any and all situations a boss can throw at it. And that remains true. That does remain true. Now, what is the problem, though? Why are people pissed? Why is this anger? Why is this fury? Why is the rage directed so heavily towards ARMS? What the hell is going on? After playing this thing extensively, and with any dubious spec that's under fire, I have to play it more and more and more to make sure my comments are accurate. I agree! The spec is awful! Oh my god! What have you done? Why return Fury to such glory in the eyes of many and diminish ARMS to whack-a-mole 0.1? This is a vanilla ARMS Warrior. This is what it is. It's a vanilla ARMS Warrior. And I was playing, I was like, I've played this before, about a decade ago, and it wasn't that fun then, let me tell you. That was when the whole game was down to one spell, and that is it. And even then, ARMS was not that great. Yes, it chops faces. Yes, the damage is there. So if it's just looking at deeps on meters, go ahead and be that guy, but I'm here to talk about the gameplay. The saving grace is the talent system. But a talent system is balanced on top of a foundation. If that foundation is made of naught but sperm, then it's not going to survive very, very long, is it? No, it's not. ARMS at its base is absolutely diabolically bad. Really bad. What do we have to play with? What are our tools? What's in our little toolkit here? We have a Mortal Strike, a standard Colossus Smash remains. Fury sadly lost it. Sadly my ass. And Execute. Got that. And Rend the Almighty. And Whirlwind. That is it. You have your 5 key buttons, and that is about it. So what's the problem with it then? Let's go deep. Mortal Strike obviously has a cooldown. Has a reasonable cooldown. 6 seconds. 20 rage cost. Does not generate rage. Colossus Smash. 20 seconds. No chance of a proc. So every 20 seconds you'll get your old Colossus Smash. Execute, of course, now hits like an absolute freight train. Yes, it does. Execute will pull off some ludicrous numbers. Absolutely insane numbers. And it's one of the things that is really carrying the DPS of ARMS at the moment. And it will only activate at its usual percentage unless you take sudden death. Rend does what it says on the tin. 5 rage. Stick your Rend up. In 20 seconds time, Rend again. Are you excited yet? You should be, because of the 4 spells we just mentioned. They're all situational or have a huge cooldown associated with them. And then if you have more rage, you can in fact Whirlwind in the classic Warrior style. I don't know. I think Blizzard was thinking, let's give them what they had in the past and maybe they'll like it. No, because this is 2014 and we've moved on. We have moved on. And Whirlwind makes its ugly, ugly return as part of our single target rotation. Why? Oh. So there's your key problem. You still have the old sweeping strikes there, which does its job. Always nice to see ARMS is very, very competitive on Cleave. It's got to say, competitive-wise, it's fine, right? It's absolutely okay. It's just playing it is fucking garbage. Yes, the damage is there, but how I'm generating it sucks. There's nothing exciting happening with this spec at all. Ever. Not a thing. It's infuriating to play. You're just like, will something happen? Something happen that I should be excited about. I cannot get excited about the talents. You know why? I have access to those in Fury. Shit, I have access to every single one of these as a tank or a gladiator. It's no good to balance on a talent system. You know who's done that? Hunters. And they're fucking awful because of it. It's no good, and Blizzard has said this in big blue, striking letters. The depth of the gameplay comes from the talent system. No! No, no, no! The talent system is there to add flavor, to add decision making, to tailor your character to the fight. But that is all on top of the original design. And the design is shocking. Absolutely shocking. It's wait for Mortal Strike. Okay. Wait for Colossus Smash. Alright. Is my Ren ticking? Yeah. Well. Can I Whirlwind or not? Yeah, alright, there's a Whirlwind still. Oh, there's Mortal Strike again. And then they added in things like Deadly Calm, made its return, but in such an awful, awful way. Ugh, the Mortal Strike can now be used a little bit quicker. Holy God, did I just get bored saying that sentence. It sounds over the top, but it really is in comparison to just everything else. And it's certainly in comparison to Fury, which has procs that may or may not go off, decisions to be made. I was talking in the Fury video about, should I Wild Strike here? Should I use my Raging Blow? Can I store a Raging Blow until a trinket procs? Can I wait? Can I do this? And all these decisions are like, this is interesting. While I'm playing my character, still using the same talents that Arms and Proc and Gladiators have, I used to have all these things to think about, and that is very, very cool. And with Arms, it's just none of that. Nothing happens. Nothing. You're just waiting like, you know, maybe it's going to happen any moment. Maybe something exciting. No, it's not going to happen. Because it has nothing like that. There's nothing there going on. It's really sad to play. The way I would describe it is quite literally, it's a vanilla Arms Warrior. That's what it is. If you liked it then, you might like it now. But that was nearly a decade ago. The game has progressed so far from there. And I will never buy into the talents are what make it fun. Because that's not what it's about, because those talents are applicable to anything. And you can't base a class on its talents. Similar to when the Shamans were, yeah, Ascendance. The whole spec might be a bit fluffy and garbage, but Ascendance, yo! It's like, it can't be carried by that. It can't be carried by something like that. Recklessness is just, you know, it's pretty boring now. It's as simple as that. Grants your special attacks additional 30% chance to crit. Okay. Increase your crit strike damage by 10%. That's alright, but it's not overly interesting. I do a little bit more crit. That's cool. But other than that, I'm not blown away by that, especially if it's a 3-minute cooldown. It's, you know, there's nothing there for it. Arms just lacks anything other than press what's not on cooldown. There was a slight saving grace with Slam. Slight saving grace with Slam, and hopefully with using the old style of Colossus Smash window, where we can fit in these slams that debuff you, but they make the damage more interesting, and that could work. Maybe there's something there just to keep the mind going. But at the moment, it seems reasonably well tuned so that Sudden Death and Taste for Blood work out kind of equal, even if you use it correctly, and therefore are far easier and less there's less brain power, so people gravitate towards them. It's as simple as that. If you give someone two ways of doing things, one is easier and the other is not, they're going to take the easier option. Why? Because we're not fucking idiots. It's not lazy. Idiots do things the hard way, right? We do things the easy way. This is the best way of doing it. It's done. There you go. Did I have any fun on my Arms Warrior? Not really. No, I didn't. I couldn't enjoy it. Occasionally I would go, ooh, because I got a really huge execute crit, and that was about it. And that's not going to last very long, is it? Like, ooh, look at that execute. Very cool. That was the kind of things we talked about back in, I don't know, fucking way back when. It's like, oh, how big was your execute? It was very, very big. I had a huge execute. How exciting. Disappointing to say this is how it's going to be. But luckily, I guess we can all be a little bit thankful that Warriors do in fact have two other DPS specs to choose from. And that is a bit of a saving grace right now. As much as I don't think Gladiator Stance needed to exist, I'm kind of thankful it does. Because there's much more going on there. Far more going on there. And luckily, Fury is looking to be pretty good. In fact, it was so good it was recently balanced, nerfed, to bring it more in line. But that's alright. That's alright. Everything about Arms revolves around the talents. You can get them in a different spec and have more fun doing it. My conclusion, ladies and gents, the Arms Warrior, and that concludes our final looks at the classes for Warlords of Draenor. I hope I've helped you in some way decide on your specs that you're going to invest the majority of your time in for Warlords of Draenor. A lot of them are great, some of them aren't. That is just the way of life, isn't it? Not everything is going to be singing and dancing. Sad to go out on a little bit of a low note, though, but there you go. All right, guys. Arms Warrior and the end of the Warlords of Draenor final looks. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.